side. This is going to be a pretty fast push here from the ex-3DMAX side, but definitely taking this sweet time here in the approach. They are finding the necessary kills, though. This is very nice right now from the Frenchmen. They do have bombs control. However, we do see Yo here from CT spawn, not able to land a single shot. And I must admit, Flakes, I think this round is pretty much over.
Yeah, it looks pretty much locked in. Gonna see a couple of nice shots come through, but don't really think the 1v4 is going to happen anytime soon. MDS going to try his luck. They will be swinging in through CT, just hopping around trying to see if he can spot out the likes of Logan. Need to go nice and high, but he's being given nothing. It's a nice and smart play from the T side, not to give him the jewels, no miracle chance here, just push him back. Actually, when they do swing in, it will be together. A 3-wide peek, nothing he can do. He's a man dropped dead to the ground, and that's a pistol round for our T side.
As the T's do end up picking it up, one of the things I actually wanted to mention, when you asked me about the teams, it's important to note that this map here, Mirage, is not really one of the better maps for either of the teams. Yes, they end up playing it, but both Nemiga and 3DMAX tend to play this map as a decider, say in a best-of-3 series, or in this case, in a best-of-1.
Yeah, it's very interesting that we got here due to it being a best-of-1 and just kind of the way the veto works in a best-of-1 format, right? So you can't help but feel like if we did get down to a Mirage, that although it may be a decider map traditionally for these teams, they've got to be happy to play it, right? I mean, there's got to be some sort of thought process behind it. At least they're not playing on sort of the best ground, I think, as well, for likes of Nemiga, who can be pretty sort of tactically strong. Nonetheless, it will be the SMGs just dancing around on the A site. MAC-10's eating them alive. A triple kill for the T side as MDS is once again last man standing.
I don't really think MDS does have a good chance here. We're talking a 1-on-4 with the P250. It's a pretty fine pistol, I'll give you that, but I'm not sure if you can actually even find the kill. Oh, pardon me, it looks like MDS does pick up the kill there on Maka. There's going to be a lot more players to find, and that's going to be a somewhat clean round here for ex-3DMAX. They end up losing 2 of their players, but they were only wielding the SMG, so that's obviously not the biggest of losses here for the Frenchmen.
Money's really building up now, though. That is going to be the main thing for this CT side I worry about. Obviously, the weapons into play for them. We've got the classic AUG M4 combos coming out as well. See what they can bring to the table. Their first real attempt, I'd say, to push this one back now. They've got all the weapons. Utility's a little limited. I mean, we're looking at, what, 2 smokes? JO and MDS. Outside of that, I mean, there's nothing. So probably limited is a bit of an understatement, to be honest. But they've got the firepower, and at least there's something.
And
looks like
look at this. I mean, 3DMAX
contact play.
Yeah, pretty much. And 3DMAX, I think they're definitely going to try to hit this B-bomb set. You realize the simple nature of this round. Nemiga, they might have the weapons for sure, but they don't necessarily have the utility to stop an aggressive play like this. So right now, MDS, he's stuck there in the bench. He can't find a single kill. And as ex-3DMAX players are able to pounce here on the bomb side, they still haven't really conducted the bomb plan. And we do see Robo with a big flank. This could be huge right now for the Nemiga side as they do. Or no, Robo? I think, yep, you definitely see the player there. There's going to be a kill there for Robo. And the ex-3DMAX players, they're not in the best of positions right now. We have a player in bench. We have a player in van. That one goes down. And David P alongside Jinx. I'm not sure if they can actually hold this one off. Box coming in there for short. He's got no idea about the position there of David P. Or actually, he might have. He does try to go for the spray there. I think Nemiga, they know what's up. They got to be able to find the last kill. And that's going to be the round here for Nemiga. A pretty convincing retake here from the Belarusians.
Yeah, it's really unfortunate. I mean, the positioning for ex-3DMAX was definitely there. The problem was they were so low after what was quite a sloppy entry onto the site. They had 2 players sort of below 5 HP sort of in the red. That meant 2 very easy picks, to be honest, for the CT side. And from there, it's a 4v4, made 2v4. They pretty much knew the position of every player as well, and it just completely fell apart.
This round, we do see the Frenchmen can still make a pretty decent looking purchase here. Yeah, interestingly enough, even though they can make themselves a good purchase here, Jinx decides to opt for the MAC-10. That's quite a peculiar buy, but now I see why. Because this is going to be a full-on push here. The A-bombs. It's in fact Jinx to find the first kill here, as he's the first man on the site. Now we do have his buddies coming in, and they're finding the necessary kills here, and looks like Nemiga going to try to prep out here for the retake, and they do have one ace up their sleeve, and that is the flank there from Box.
That may work out for them, but he's got to really get a move on now. That bomb is ticking. The CT side players as well beginning to make their push on through, so going to be desperate for that support. They've drawn the attention of Ramp, but the flank has still not come through. Box, where are you? Both your teammates are dead. You're in a 1v3. How have you let it get this far? He will come in from behind. He spots out Logan, begins to let it rip, but he's only good for 1. He's got to find at least a second. Now look for the 3rd player as well. He can drop the smoke onto the bomb, but he's not expecting him to be a Ramp, and there you have it. Done and dusted. David P will take him out. out, and it will be another round for our terrorist side. And that absolutely crushes the economy of Nemiga. At 3-1, we're now likely to see a fourth here as well, as Nemiga, well, they're just going to completely spend everything they've got. It's going to be SMGs. They do have some weaponry up a couple of other players, but it's not great. I mean, it's just a deagle for JO.
It's not. This is not a good purchase here from Nemiga. They're going to try to make the best they can out of a situation like this, but I'm not sure if it's going to be too effective. ex-3DMAX, they're making a very fast push here on the B-bomb side. I don't think even the Opera Robo can get anything done in this position as the smokes do come in. They're going to be blocking off the vision here, but there's Yo with a nice deagle shot. There's going to be a lot more players coming in, and somehow Nemiga, they're finding the necessary kills here. Yo tries to go for more, but I must admit, Nemiga, they're doing a fine job at stopping this bomb plant.
Yeah, getting so much value as well out of that that pistol for a second there. Oh, straight through the smoke as well. Jinx knows what's up. David P going to take down Box as well. It leaves just Robo, who really was given nothing in this round, right? Goes for the EWP, spends down to literally $0 left in the bank. He's gone all in at the poker table, so to speak, and then really, because of the rush, gets no opportunity to put it to use, and the site is completely overrun within a matter of seconds. Kind of makes it such a tough round for him, so definitely the best decision for him to try and save that or carry it through into round number 6. But it still will mean that the scoreline develops 4-1 in favour of our terrorist side, the ex-3DMAX lineup, and I've got to say for Nemiga, I'd start to be getting a little bit worried. They just don't seem to have a read on this aggressive style, but also surprising style of 3DMAX just yet.
Yeah, these have been some very fast rounds here from the Frenchmen. Primarily, they've been hitting either, the B apartments pushes have been very successful, and so have been the pushes on the A-bomb side. They have been very successful, I'll give them that. But I think Nemiga should be able to have themselves a bit of a read coming into these next rounds. I think they're going to try to put more defensive sides there on both bomb sides to make sure such a place doesn't take place. And if you see pause not being taken, I'm pretty sure it's probably the Nemiga players taking the pause here, trying to discuss their upcoming approach.
I think now's a better time than ever, really, just to take a moment, 30 seconds, just to try and sort of almost settle down on their CT side. I mean, the biggest problem they've got is that, look at the B site, for example. Within 15 seconds, the site is overrun with terrorists. So they need to really get some stopping power there. One of the quickest things to mention that would come to, I think, everyone's mind is, we'll use some Molotovs, etc. But the problem with that is with the way their economy sort of settled down because of these rampant force buys, etc. And, some of that is definitely put into play by this T side, but still, the key point and the takeaway is that Nemiga's economy just hasn't really sort of helped them out in terms of holding against these sort of all-out pushes. So hopefully in round 7 they'll have a little bit more sort of dollar to play with. That will mean that they have a little bit of flexibility in regards to the utility and such that they can bring into play. For now, though, it is going to still be here in round 6 that we see Nemiga try and survive with just a smattering of pistols and an AWP on Robo. Does have Kevlar on his back, of course, and Lollipop actually has the Kevlar behind that CZ. But it's going to be a hard sell to imagine that this round goes in favour of anyone but ex-3DMAX.
That's the thing, Flakes. The Nemiga players, even though they are on the mere pistols, they decided to put a lot of emphasis on this A side defensive. And if the push is actually going to be taking place here on the A side, even these mere pistols can do a lot of damage here on the Frenchmen. And I do believe they're going to be setting up the utility. They're already deploying it on the site. Right now, we're going to have to wait and see. Can the Frenchmen actually break this defensive? They should. They have the superior weaponry as well as utility, so it shouldn't be a problem to flush out some of these players here. But already the first kill. Is it still a trade here? Jinx. Let's find a kill on one of these players. There's Box coming in. And there's going to be Hadji with 2 impressive shots here on the site. Now this is about time where 3DMAX must actually plant the bomb here, but there's Jinx with another kill. And now poor Robo, there's nothing he can actually spot out with the smoke. I don't think it's time. Robo, if he can't find any kills quick enough, I think he's just going to have to retreat.
Yeah, this is definitely him sort of backing away now, surely. Jinx also likely to wrap around from behind, so if he decides to stand his ground in the CT, which he has done, then now he's pretty much a dead man walking. There shouldn't really be a way out for him here. The only sort of question mark will be, do 3DMAX want to contain him, or do they want to hunt him? If they decide to hunt, that will involve them pushing into CT to try and chase him down. Containing him, though, which is what they're currently doing, just means that he can't actually run through to B. He's stuck sort of within the CT portion of the map. But I think the call here from this T side is, look, we've got the AUG, we've got the 2 rifles, let's just chill out for a second. They do eventually rotate through to B, and, well, Jinx gives them the flying one tap. But for the most part, I think they were just trying to sort of let that one wait out. Has to be said, Hadji saves that round. I mean, that double kill there, without that, we're looking at pistols and AUGs just mowing them down on that A play. If there was ever a test of just how good your execute is, that right there is the test.
It's also important to note that they did have a guy like Rob on the sniper rifle, and yet again, even in a round like that, he wasn't able to find a single kill because of the great utility usage there from the ex-3DMAX players. He was stationed in connector, he was smoked off, then he was smoked off in stairs, and he obviously had the jungle smoke as well, so he wasn't able to find anything, but this time around things are a little bit different. I do believe Robo might have had a gap in the window, thus allowing him to find the first kill.
Is down to 30 HP though. Box also going to be snuck by a nade there. That will give away his position slightly. Like 3DMAX are just going back to the old faithful here. Hit the B site and hit it hard. They will get themselves an entry pick, but it'll be quick to trade. Gio actually going to put Logan down to 3 HP. He stuck himself in towards Van. The Org will finish him off as well. That's another kill collected. As they do begin to drop on down, the Org is just wreaking havoc right now on this B site. Take Maka finally going to get a kill, but is it too little too late? Yes, it is. The AWP of Robo will take him down, and we do see a second on the board.
A pretty fine round there from the Nemiga players, especially because guys like Robo were able to find the first kills. We also saw Jo step up massively there towards short, that just simply stopping the 3DMAX push in its tracks. So it was a very nice hold here from Nemiga. The question is, can they actually keep it up? Because again, they have to make the reinvestment here. It's obviously not looking that great. Guys like Robo, Jo, they're lacking in utility quite been a big margin, to be honest. I do see Lollipop playing quite aggressively here, trying to spot a player there for the Flames, but he gets shut down by Haji. And right now, I think this is a full-on commitment here. Box gets the lineup, and there's gonna go Box. He's going massive here on the side. David P now, the last standing Frenchman, or shall I say Belgian, as he has his AK-47 in hand, and also the bomb. So this could still be quite a doable round here for David P, but let's be real. A 1-on-3 with Jo making the flank, not too shabby.
To rely on that duel coming through, and well, it won't. Jo will take him down. Let's talk about Boxer a second. I mean, that is incredible. The lineup there, and then he gets the third kill on the Palace exit player as well. It doesn't get better than that. Beautiful stuff. Really taking advantage of the bench position there. Just gives him such a wide peek down in towards Rampers that he's come pushing on through, and the lineup is just the cherry on top. Secures a double kill after it would have been just a one. Great way to get Nemiga back into this game.
That was important stuff there from Box. And now we do see, ex-3DMAX. The repercussions of them losing that round, they must go on an eco, and it's a simple one. Guys like Haji seem to be investing in, yes, Kevlar as well as a Deagle. The other guy seems to be just rocking the good old-fashioned Glock, so this should be an easy round for Nemiga to pick up. Obviously, if you're the Frenchman, you're going to try to do as much damage here as possible, but only the mere pistols, that could be a bit difficult.
Yeah, this will likely be a bit of a throwaway round. We are going to see the USP still fire on away, as Robo will actually find Logan there. Yes, now really being given the true test, the B site, as the pistols continue to push on through, but just like his teammate, albeit he uses the rifle, not the pistol, but still it will be kills across the board for the CT side. Does have a cheeky triple while he's at it as well. Does live for the eco frags, some say.
The eco frags, they're good. You're able to boost up your HLTV rating, which is always nice, and it always gives you a bit of a confidence boost when you're able to mow down your opposition just that easily.
What's interesting as well is that the actual difference in pacing, now that Nemiga actually have some money and some utility to put into these rounds, they really are denying ex-3DMAX from going for these big sort of aggressive all-in plays. The irony is, though, that I say that, and then Box swings out wide through connector and gives up an easy kill to David, which is just not what you like to see. Now having to hold on towards short, but he'll just be overrun by Jinx, who goes flying through a smoke. This round is the exact opposite of what I was just commending Nemiga for. You hate to see it.
Nemiga decided to play a bit aggressively this round. We saw not only the push towards connector there from Box, but we also had a pretty nifty setup there towards ramp. I do believe it was Robo alongside Jo in that position, as they tried to find the early pick there towards ramp, but that simply didn't work out for them and their teammates. One of them ends up dying towards connector, the other one towards ladder room. This makes things very difficult right now for Nemiga's ex-3DMAX. They have 3 of their players here coming in for the B apartments. They also have a player to come in either for a late flank or to go up with his teammates as well. And now, ex-3DMAX players are now making their way through the B apartments. They're able to find one of these kills here, but MDS still hasn't realized his position. Now he does. Tries to get some more kills, but that's not possible. He gets overwhelmed, and right now, as the bomb is being punched in, David P gets it done, and ex-3DMAX, I'm almost certain they got this round.
Yeah, this is going to be really tough for them to throw away now. Imagine Robo's going to be going back to his old faithful. I think this is the 4th time now he's had to save the AWP in Palace. Really not been a great day for him in terms of really being able to find value with that AWP.
Yeah, that's a bit of a shame, because if you're an opper, especially on the CT side of Mirage, you want to be the first one to try to find some of these openings for the team, shall I say. But he hasn't been successful. We saw, his other teammates like Joe, Box try to attempt to find the initial engagements, but it's just not been working out. I'd love to see a bit more aggression from from Robo. He might just get his team one of the first kills, and that could be an easy start there. A fine opening kill could make things much easier here for the Belarusians.
Problem is, it's a double-edged sword. I mean, the aggression is definitely an avenue of attack for him, but, I mean, where exactly does he go aggressive? I mean, he's getting smoked off in window, Short's getting smoked off as well, so that already pretty much wipes away the two sort of more traditional angles of, of mid. He could go through top of connector, but there's usually a deep smoke there as well, albeit that comes a lot earlier into the round than the short smoke does. But either way, pretty much all three of those positions are heavily under-contested when, early on into the round, because that's just really the emphasis of 3DMAX right now. It's either mid presence, of which they're covering all three of those angles, or they're doing some more aggressive all-in style play towards the B site or A site respectively. So it just really kind of cuts away Robo's chances, because he's either going to die in mid, getting aggressive, or getting completely smoked off and having to save, or he has to rotate into an already taken site, which, when you look at it like that, is just kind of an unfortunate situation for him to be in. His teammate does try to pick up the secondary AWP and get aggressive towards B, but that's a kill denied. Only going to find the tag, and well, now that information is picked up by the T side, they're going to play this one a lot safer. And there you can see that's really interesting. Maka going for that mid utility again. That's just more denial for Robo, forces him into this rotation. Molly will come back towards the plat area of B. Gio will have to waste a smoke to escape from that as Logan finds an entry of his own. The fake, it's paid off. The A site is theirs. Robo the only competition, but I mean, he's got his eyes shut. Can see absolutely nothing as he's smoked off once more and fails to take advantage of the ability to shoot down on cross. Box will contest from stairs, but some say it's too little too late. The site has been taken. They're all going to be about the retake. Maka will come in from behind. There's one. Can he find a second? No. Robo will finally trade. This is getting weirdly messy.
Yeah, this is looking very weird right now, ex-3DMAX. Yes, they're very much on the side here, but they can't really plant the bomb. They must eliminate the Belarusians here, or shall I say singular MDS now, the last man standing here. Just have the AUG to work with, but the headshot angle is way too strong from David P. That is going to be the round here from ex-3DMAX, but it was, quite a peculiar... Yeah, it wasn't a good round there on the A-bomb, so you could even call it a bit of a clown fiesta to some extent. I mean, ex-3DMAX, with the initial push, it looked pretty fine, but they definitely took their sweet time actually committing to the side. I guess one of the main reasons behind it, because they still had a guy like Maka in short. He could have been able to find a lot of damage there, which, fair enough, he did find one of those kills, which wasn't too bad, and at the end of it all, that 2-on-2 scenario on the side itself, that was pretty dicey. It could have gone either way, to be honest.
Yeah, I think the other thing as well, and this is really more credit to Nemiga, is that they actually just continue to apply pressure on the site, even with the smokes being down in some cases, whether that's through connector, through CT, ticket booth, etc., which kind of just made this 3DMAX line look a little bit more antsy. They were hesitant to go for the plant because they were being kind of put under this pressure into these firefights they didn't want to be in, which then stretched out the rounds, and then from there I think just kind of the dominoes fall and we find ourselves in that sort of clown fiesta of a round that we just witnessed. So it's kind of a bit on both teams on why that happened the way it did. I think overall it was it came down to a fair 2v2. Unfortunately, I think the positioning that Nemiga had in that 2v2 was always going to put them at a disadvantage. When you got one player pushed up deep through onto the actual site itself and one kind of hunchback into CT, you're effectively playing two 1v2s. And that in itself is already going to put you on the back foot. So an unfortunate result. It is what it is. The scoreline now sits perched at 7-4 as we head into what will be round number 12. Nemiga not exactly in the greatest of positions here as their economy is sat around the $2,000 to $3,000 mark, which certainly won't warrant a buy. That will likely mean we see an 8th at minimum on the board here for a T-side, which will secure them the half.
And this is a particularly dissatisfying scenario if you're Nemiga. The first half, it is coming to a close, and to note that the Nemiga players are simply running out of money is never nice. It is pretty obvious this round must be a full-on eco from their side, that they can only make the purchase on, I do believe, the 13th round. So yes, they're going to be losing one more round here at the very least here, Nemiga. And the best case scenario, yeah, it could possibly be 7 rounds here for the Belarusian side. A very possible scoreline, but I'm not sure if they're going to be able to pick it up because, ex-3DMAX, so far we've seen from them these superb pushes as they're playing it together. They have been very aggressive in their approach, and Nemiga just really haven't found a cure to this aggression.
Only time will tell, I think, is the honest answer. Wait and see what the play from Nemiga will be. Like the unpause is coming through as we can hear it ticking on away. Oh, there we go. Back live into this matchup now. Is the decision going to be from Nemiga here? Keep it USPs, really hoping. We've seen some pretty wild buys from them, so wouldn't be too shocked if we saw a little bit more money spent, but it looks like they will just keep the flat pistols. Going to see a 5-7 at best on the box. They do try and just hold on for dear life into this round.
Wonder, I actually thought maybe might just be one of the early stacks here, but instead they're going to be pushing into the all-out short play. That's something you don't get to see in an equal round, and they should be pretty easily mopped up here by the Frenchmen, because they do have a guy like Maka looking towards with his AWP, and now the rifles coming in here for the apartments. This should be quite the easy round here for ex-3DMAX, but they're definitely taking their sweet time. The damage is being dealt by those mirror pistols. They will end up losing at the very least Logan, which I guess it's somewhat working out here for the Nemiga, but yo, it's being softened up by the flames. That's going to be the round here. Quite a decent round, I'd say, from ex-3DMAX. When they were making the push there from the B apartments, I was really hoping maybe even the players with the pistols could do some serious work and might even recover a rifle from this. But no, that's just going to be it. 8 rounds here for ex-3DMAX, and still the 4 for Nemiga.
Right here, round 13. This will set the tone for the rest of this half and potentially the outcome of the second half as well. As Nemiga, they're either going to sit on 4 and likely close out the half on 4, or we're going to see something a little bit better for them as they do try and cut up a bit of a fight. So far, so good. It will be a quick trade as an assist comes in from a flashbang. You love to see it. The site take, it's a little dodgy. There are smokes everywhere in some pretty crazy places. A smoke sat on the back of triple box, but with no presence in CT, no one can punish the failed smoke. From there, it kind of works out. 3DMAX are deep onto the site. The nade will come down to claim the life of Yo. That does mean a bomb plant is through. And there's a really deep CT smoke that's denying the scope of the AWP. The only saving grace is MDS. He's going to come in from behind. He's eyeing up Logan. He shoots a little too early, and he gets sent packing straight down the server. He will be annihilated. What an embarrassment. Maka Logan, that's a second kill for him, claimed from Palace. What a round. What an absolute mare for MDS.
It hurt. I felt physical pain while I was watching that flank, especially with him firing off the shot and him not succeeding. But that was, a very peculiar push there, Flames, because at one point, we saw, I do believe, was it the POV of Haji, I think, as him and his teammate were making the push out of the palace area. They saw the Molotov coming in. They thought, no, guys, wait, we have to stop the push. We have to stop the push. Then we saw Haji's teammate, no, I'm going in. And I do believe that might have been Jinxing with the first kill there from Palace on the A side. And what a hectic push it was from ex-3DMAX. But yet again, the aggression works out perfectly. And yet again, a flank from Nemiga is unsuccessful.
That really has been the T side of ex-3DMAX, though. It's been, let's see how aggressive we can be. And then, all honesty, the more aggressive they are, the more sort of rampant play that they bring into each round, it kind of feels like the higher chances they're actually going to walk away with a win as well, because Nemiga just seem to get a little bit lost. And also, unfortunately for them, when 3DMAX make those mistakes based on, communication or potentially what some would say would be poor team play, or just individual mistakes like missing the smokes, but also, going back to poor team play, the idea of them not just biting the bullet when they were trying to push out through Palace, instead sort of fumbling around, taking the extra damage, Nemiga are never in a situation where they can capitalize on that, which is always just kind of awkward.
And a round like this, must admit, I like the approach here from ex-3DMAX. They very much realize the situation that they do have the superior weaponry, and that Nemiga should either be on either an eco or it could be a wacky investment. And we do see that ex-3DMAX, they're taking their sweet time with the push here, and now Robo will actually secure himself not only a kill, but also a rifle there. Ex-3DMAX, they want to try to contest here the A bombs, but they have to be very careful. Some of these Nemiga players are in fine positions here, and in fact, Joe and Lollipop, they're going to be finding a couple kills here, and there's now only 2 Frenchmen remaining. So Logan and Maka, they need to find some of these kills here as soon as possible. 15 seconds remaining. We do see Maka trying to win the fight with the P250, but he's simply not successful. Now it's down to Logan. He's got the AUG, he's got the P250, but with 6 seconds remaining, he needs to find the kill here, and I think the time's working out here for MDS. He's got it. He's won the round.
How does that happen? That is such a poor display there from the T side, and sort of let it get down to that point from sort of giving up the early pistol kill in Palace, through then just failing to really realise the clock. You could see him also double back to the site thinking, hold on a second here, I need to plant this, and then he realised it's 4 seconds remaining. Just not enough left. Really awkward stuff, and that gives Nemiga a way back into this game, in all honesty. What, I think, to be honest, should have been an 11-4 half, now may well be 9-6, or, at worst 10-5, which I do think there's a bit of a difference there.
It is a bit of a difference. 11-4 would have been a much more dominant display here from ex-3DMAX, but if there's going to be 6 rounds here for Nemiga on the CD side of Mirage, I think they're going to be somewhat happy about it. Not joyful, but somewhat satisfied with their performance. It obviously could have been way better here on the CT side, but as we do see, they must now work with, well, a pretty good looking purchase here in terms of weaponry, but now they're simply running out of utility, and we do see ex-3DMAX. They're simply playing the clock. They realize the very simple nature of this round. Nemiga, they probably don't have the most amount of utility in the world, so let's just play this one safe. Let's wait for the timer to tick, and then we'll make a play.
"45 seconds now. Time on the clock. Patience being brought into play here from ex-3DMAX, as they do not want to rush this one. Looking to begin to put the pieces in play for a mid-take here. The flashes will come through. Robo to drop the smoke towards top of connector just to deny them any sort of early vision. Can fight short. If they do, Box will likely go flying on through, as Yo will be taken on down. So far, so good. The entry pick towards B comes through. They've got 20 seconds to make it work. They are desperate for the kills, but they're getting it done. David P catching the rotators. That's a double kill for him, and it's all on Robo. The man needs a 1v3, but he's only good for one. The kill comes through, and just like that, it'll be 10-5.
A 10-5 scoreline indeed, as the Frenchmen, they still reach double digits, as they secured themselves 10 rounds here on the turret side of Mirage. A pretty fine display from their part. Yes, they might have lost that round earlier, which that was a pretty dissatisfying display, I'll give them that. But in all fairness, with 10 rounds on the turret side of Mirage, they can be very happy about their performance.
I think that really is going to be the main thing, is just now looking forward to the second half, seeing what Nemiga can do to kind of bounce back the 5-round gap, and also just really show us something on their T side. I do think that actually, in terms of which team will be able to demonstrate the stronger T side play, I would actually put my sort of bet onto Nemiga here. I think they've got sort of the team play down more so than 3DMAX have. We did see in that first half, a lot of just sort of simple mistakes coming from people trying to play a little bit more individualistic, and also just the communication not really sort of coming through very well on this ex-3DMAX side. So hopefully we'll see a good game on our hands, but it's it's very hard to say. Both teams are kind of just in very interesting positions right now, I'd say, as lineups as well.
Yeah, but on the T side, you definitely need some of that team cohesion for sure. But I personally am quite surprised to note that Lollipop, the man sitting only on... As I was saying, yes, Lollipop, the man's only sitting on 5 kills, which honestly is a bit of a shame. He's one of the highest fragging individuals here for the Nemiga side, and if he's going to be able to have a good game on the terrorist side, then sure, I'm quite confident that this could be a much more competitive affair here on the second map, but if not, this could be the end here for the Belarusians.
Well, now we get to see how this one is going to unfold. The buyers come through, and in all honesty, it's completely standard for both teams. Double frag grenade, smoke flash for ex-3DMAX with a kit on towards Maka, of course. Likewise for Nemiga, just a one utility player going for the double flash smoke. Kevlar across the other 4. Looks like we are going to see the frag grenade come through towards bottom con, which will be incredibly well timed. Look at that damage! Almost 40 HP done across 2 players respectively. We will see the quick 1-for-1 trade. Opens up in favour of the CT side at the end, though, as Jinx seems to be tapping heads. That's 2 for him so far. Haji going to support as well as they continue to wreak havoc from the top of connector. It's a bloodbath. Just like that, it's an 11th, and really no sort of contest from Nemiga. I mean, it's One tap galore coming from top con there. Beautiful stuff from Jinx and Haji as they just play off each other.
I mean, man, like ex-3DMAX, they had the perfect setup for that scenario. I mean, they had 3 of their players stationed towards connector, and what the Nemiga players wanted to do, what seemed like an A split, they wanted to have the majority of their players coming in there through connector. That is a tight choke point. With the USP players being there, that was a hard round to win from the get-go. But here, Nemiga, they're making the waterfall play here, and it's kind of working out, even with some of these pistols. They're finding the kills here, but I do believe, yes, that's going to be the end here for the Nemiga side, as they end up losing pretty much all of their players, but they do some economical damage. I do believe Logan and Maka were the 2 players that were down, so they're going to have to reinvest. So sure, Nemiga, they might not have gotten themselves the bomb plant, but they definitely did some damage.
Definitely concerned now about this T side, though. They are running out of rounds to show us what they can do here. If they fuck up this buy as well, to put it bluntly, then we could be looking at this game over and done with. And it's worth noting again, this is kind of a great time to go back in it just in the opening couple of seconds of this round, that this is best of 1 GSL, so it's cutthroat format. There really isn't many opportunities for you to make mistakes. So Nemiga definitely need to be a little bit more cautious here. Try and grind their way back into this best of 1. But at 12-5, it is looking fairly bleak. Already damage done to this T side, putting Yo down to 73, Box down to 83 as well. A lot of just chip damage the ex-3DMAX will be looking to cash in on, as they do just try and hold things back. Passive play towards the A site, even more so towards B. The only real presence comes in from Jinx, who is sitting towards the top of connector. Flash play comes through, an easy kill picked up. Beautiful stuff.
This is quite interesting here from Nemiga. They have wasted a lot of their utility with the mid presence that they, so dearly fought for, but now they've simply backed away, and because of it, if they're gonna want to hit this A bomb, so they're just gonna have to go in there guns blazing, because they don't necessarily have the utility to actually smoke off or Molotov some of these positions. They're gonna have to get in there with the nitty gritty, and well, there's Lollipop finding the first kill, but we do see that the players are getting eliminated there one by one. Robbo and Joe, they are coming in here, but slowly but surely. Not sure if they can find anything in this position. Hold on just a sec. There's Yo with 2 massive kills. This could still work out, but they haven't checked Maka. All the time was sitting there under dark without being spotted. Now Haji with Ape all to do here. And yeah, looks like Robo will be able to pick up the bomb in that position. Now Haji, he is shifting his way here. Now I do believe, yeah, Robo's going to stick it. And Haji is going to get him right around the corner. That's going to be the round here for ex-3DMAX.
If there was ever a time that concern really begin to set in, well, it should have been 2 rounds ago, but definitely now, if not ever. Only around 3k on each player at best on Nemiga will mean they are just going to be on most of them upgraded pistols and such it. Maka just going to be pretty much holding on towards top mid, as it's very patient play from the CT side, just waiting to see exactly what Nemiga will try and do here.
Only with the pistols to work with. I mean, Nemiga are definitely going to have a difficult time, but I might be mistaken. Guys like Yo seem to be finding a very good elimination there, but 12 HP is definitely not a lot there for Yo, and now he's a goner. So yes, I'd say in a round like this, I definitely wouldn't be too surprised to see a bit of a more coordinated effort here from Nemiga, but while he's taking these aim duels by a one-on-one basis, they're somehow winning these fights against a fully armed opposition.
The fact this might actually be feasible is kind of mad. When you consider that you've got 2 players on this T-side as well with armor, if that M4 gets itself into their hands, then we're looking at a very legitimate chance here, especially with Logan being put under pressure. The Deagle actually going to strike him down there. That puts us now at a 4v2. Maka will be coming in through CT though. Little does he know the bomb is nowhere to be seen. It will be coming over on towards the B site where David P were there to try and catch it. Unfortunately, his shots just don't quite land. He will push the bomb back at least. Maka securing Lollipop meanwhile. That brings down 1 player, leaving it now just 2 versus 3. Simple maths, but trust me, important to keep an eye on when you look at the clock as well. 18 seconds now. Maka just needs to hold the top of connector, and his teammate just needs to hold short. All they've got to do is deny the plant. David P putting in the work. That's a double kill for him. It all falls onto Robo. The bomb is dropped. Maka holding onto CT. Red like a book. ex-3DMAX, they bring the round back from the brink of destruction, and they secure themselves their 14th as a reward. Nemiga stuck on 5, but a very valiant effort from them in round 19. If they can bring the same sort of discipline through in the round 20 and have a genuine crack at it, then we still could be seeing some good CS from them. But it goes without saying that it's 14-5. 2 more rounds and this game is done. Nemiga are definitely pushed up against a bit of a wall here.
Yeah, but what were they thinking the previous round?
This is over.
And this round, I don't know what to say. I mean, even at the previous round, like Nemiga, they had themselves such a great opportunity to secure the victory, as they did have 3 players on the A bomb side. They could have very easily just have the bomb carrier go, I don't know, towards the A side where all the players were there, but no, he decides to go towards B, wastes valuable time. The team ends up losing the round, and here it's just a slaughter here in the middle. Someone call a cleanup because the bodies are lying here.
It's just, I mean, I'm going to give credit to 3DMAX for that. They made the decision of rushing mid and getting aggressive, and it did exactly what they intended it to do. Completely caught Nemiga off guard. Likewise, it caught us off guard as well. So, definitely credit where credit is due. Actually, Max are just outclassing them here as David P will finish things off. He's by far been the MVP, I think, of this game. 20-7 currently, but, really the whole of ex-3DMAX have all had pretty stellar performances.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that.
I imagine this will be the final round, Danny. I don't know if you disagree, but I feel like we are kind of at the end of the road here.
Yeah, I think Nemiga's strat book is running thin, and looks like it is going to be another push here towards top mid. This time around, they do have a couple of their players here. But Jinx, he's feeling quite aggressive about this one. He's definitely going to try to win these fights here. But somehow, while he's flashbanged, he will be hitting the ground right about now. And that's a good pickup here for Nemiga. A 5-on-4 scenario is a good start here for the Belarusian side. But with this early advantage, how are they planning to use it? Now, they have wasted a decent amount of utility here for the mid presence. But they can't stay here in mid for too much longer, I think. The utility is about to run out. They're going to have to make a play on one of these bomb sites.
Patience coming through, pointing us towards this B site. Answers our question where they're going to be heading, that's for sure. Haji on to watch now as he's yet to eyeball the push, but would have heard 1 or 2 steps that should give it away. The gunfire now to confirm his thoughts as the push comes through. Not going to take the initial peek, instead just going to hold for the cross. Eventually swings out, but at that point, kind of a little too late. Will be wrapped up by Yo. But he buys time for David P to come in on the flank, and that's going to be the big one to watch. Meanwhile, Logan pushes in as well. Maka will fall, so that does mean life is a little bit more difficult for David P. Nonetheless, still an achievable round here as they are sat 3v2. Slowing it down, playing it smart, waiting to see if they can find the next opportunity. What's interesting is that David P's given it up completely, decides not to come in from the flank and instead rotate out through underpass, which means Logan, when he's going in for this push, he's doing it all on his Larry. I mean, it's a 1v3 attempt, and if David now tries to go for it, that would just be insanity because the guy's got no time. So, yeah, I mean, I don't know if this comes back to poor communication for ex-3DMAX or whatever it may be, but one thing's for sure, that retake was certainly not a team effort.
Oh, no, it wasn't. I do believe it was just overconfidence there from Logan in that position. He's feeling confident. It's like, we've got rounds to work with. It's 15-5. We can very easily, try to go for a ballsy play like that. But David P, he's playing that smart. He knows that this is a very difficult position to be winning from. So he decides to back away. So yes, that is some miscommunication coming in there from the players. And it would have been obviously much better for Logan to keep that AK-47 as they would have a, not necessarily a full-on purchase on the back of it, but they would have, some better weaponry to work with in a round like this.
What do you think the odds of Nemiga grinding their way back through and actually making it 15-15 are? Generally curious, Danny. What would you, if you were to put a number on it, what number would you be?
All right, let me think. If we're talking percentages, I'd probably give them, let's say, 5%. I'm being generous. 5% from Nemiga that they're going to be able to pull off the comeback. Yeah, it is. And for good reason, Nemiga, they just haven't been looking stellar here on the terror side. The CT side has actually been their better side. They still are to win a round here on the terror side, Mirage. And, oh, pardon me, they have won the previous one, and this could possibly be their second one. But in all fairness, like, it has been looking very bleak on this second half.
See the short smoke come through. Molly as well being thrown up in towards vent. Eager to begin to eye up the connector split on towards A. David P going to be the one to watch here as he will try and hold things off in this little cubby in jungle. Likewise, his teammates who are double stacked towards Palace as the push comes through. Neither of which players will be valuable there as Lollipop drops them dead box to find just another. This is beautifully done. David P puts up a pretty good crack at it, a double kill, but unfortunately will not be enough.
I don't know, even for an eco round, that was a bit too close, Nemiga. I'm not really sure who actually threw down the smoke there towards connector. I actually think it might have been someone from the terrorist side of Nemiga throwing down that late smoking connector. It obviously blocks off the vision from the CTs, sure, but with 20 seconds remaining, you're gonna have to make that push happen, and, pushing through the smoke like that was risky. That was very ballsy from Nemiga. Sure, they're able to claim themselves the victory, but even so, in a round like that, it could have gone 3DMAX's way.
Already early damage done by Nemiga here, as they seem to be getting much more competitive on their T side, which is kind of what I expected, to be honest. I kind of touched on it in the pistol. Unfortunately, though, they don't really have many chances to make mistakes. Well, they don't have any chances, actually, to be frank. Really the downside here. I just only hope if the half was a little bit closer, we could have seen much more from them. Now they have to be flawless to make it 15-15. Already losing one as well puts them in a bit of a disadvantageous spot here. But a lot of damage has been done to the CT side, so that at least will make life a little easier when it comes to actually claiming kills on the likes of David P and Jinx.
Talking about the latter one, like, Jinx is still holding quite an aggressive position here, connector. I'm very surprised to note that he hasn't decided to back away. He could be very easily punished here by a guy like MDS. And will he actually even check him? He sure does there at the very end, but that could have been a possibility for 3DMAX to claim another kill. There's going to be Joe with one, and I do believe this is going to be a commitment here at the B bomb. So that is where the bomb is stationed at, but there's only one player here from the Nemiga, and it looks like Box finds the kill. If he would have dropped dead, that's the round over just there, and even the match. But here, we do see possibility here for Nemiga to secure the round as they are in a 3-on-2. The bomb's been planted, and I think Logan and Maka just want to back away from this one, but the question is, can they do so? Lollipop is on the hunt. Oh, Maka. He's very quick on the trigger there with the AWP, and he secures the kill. Make sure a certain Lollipop doesn't punish him.
Another lifeline, and well, the gap certainly gets a little thinner. We are going to be up to 8-15 now. Nemiga hanging on. Rounds are getting a little closer here, just down to a 2v2 in the end. Benefit for the Nemiga, though, is that ex-3DMAX do not have the funds, really. They had to buy too heavily into this. They do have the rifle and the AWP on Maka and Logan. They can maybe put a little bit more behind the two of those, but I don't imagine we'll see anything more. Just keep the 2500, 2700 on those players. Still got rounds to work with here. The worst thing that ex-3DMAX can do is start to get nervous now and start to make more mistakes and let the scoreline really kind of avalanche out of control.
Boy, now I'm being scared. I talked about the 5% possibility, but with every single round Nemiga are able to pick up, obviously the chances are increasing, and that's the scary part. Obviously, if you're a team like ex-3DMAX, you should be able to close this one out without, breaking a sweat. But, so far, Nemiga, they've been able to show us some pretty decent Counter-Strike.
Nemiga just going to be looking to boost now up in towards window. David P will be holding for it, but just moves at the wrong second. Literally comes down to the millisecond. He switches to the left-hand side. Jinx will at least find one of his own. Logan actually going to put in some work with the AUG. That's the bomb he's just found. Hold on a second here. Unfortunately, always going to re-peek. This is a matter of timing, if anything. Lollipop is trying to chase the man down, but he just doesn't get around the corner quick enough. It will be the trade frag. From there, the bomb is back under their control, and Maka finds himself in a 1 versus 3, and I highly doubt Nemiga will try and force the issue on A. They have the information as well that the B site is going to be open. From there, it should just be a classic knife-out sprint. Plant the bomb on B and just take the free win of the round here. There really should be nothing that Maka can do.
And Maka's best bet would obviously try to save that AWP, but that's looking quite questionable because you do have a player like MDS here in window, and he should be able to spot out the player. Yep, he sure does. Clinical precision. And that's going to be a round here for Nemiga. Did he want the AWP? Nope, doesn't look like it. They're going to be sticking here with the rifles, and I don't think we have seen much of, an AWP being picked up here on the terrace side of Nemiga. They've been, pardon me. Now there's Robo with the sniper rifle here, so all right, fine. He's going to be playing this one, I think, in a hope to find an early engagement here for Nemiga, but they've been playing quite fast style of CS, so I'm not sure if the sniper rifle is going to be too useful. The rifles, though, they definitely are, as they're finding a couple kills here. Those are trades, however, but it's still a pretty good looking scenario here for the Belarusians.
On paper, though, this still favors Nemiga. They want it to be a 3v3, sort of try and whittle things down. Must play into their hands somewhat.
And he's got himself a pretty peculiar position there. That's a pretty off angle. Not a lot of times a player coming out from the palace here, even ramp, will be able to check that position. Same actually could go for David Peel. Like, he's very vulnerable here. He could be shut down here by one of the players here, but look at MDS right now. He's making the big flank happen. Where does he want to go? David P still secures the kill, but now MDS eyes are on him as he looks like he's going to try to get the wraparound here on the A bomb set. I don't think Logan will have any idea of the flank being a possibility.
Alexander could win them this round. Good old MDS might just catch them by surprise here. As long as he plays it smart, then he's good for both those kills. Yep, there's one. Can't quite find the second, but he knows the position. Allows Robo just to slip on in, take him down, and creates a 1 versus 1. Do or die now for Hadji. Couldn't think of a better player for ex-3DMAX to put in this scenario, but Robo has a great position, and Hadji, well, he doesn't really have the utility to force much. He's got the flash and the frag grenade, but isn't really going to do too much in the context of this retake. He's playing a position, though, that kind of does play a little bit more into the hands of Hadji now. Just peek out to the right, play this ever so carefully. And there you have it. Headshot. Done and dusted. 69 will be the final scoreline here. Close game. But unfortunately for Nemiga, they just did not have the lifelines on their T side.
Oh, they simply didn't. If they would have actually secured themselves the piss around, that could have been a whole different story here on the terrace.